I want to talk about energy, action, reaction, and how it affects everything between you, others, and within yourself. It's so deep that I'm ready to get into. What is energy? Energy, for me, I was looking up definitions, and what I saw was that it cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one form to another, it says. A good example of energy and how I was saying that for every action there will always be a reaction. That is law, right? They say that in a lot of esoteric knowledge or wisdom, or even into science or physics or whatever it may be. For example, if I had this piece of paper and I had, let's say, a coin or some type of item on this, right? And it's flat and it's a surface. Let's say this was a counter. I take my fist. This is, right, the action. I slam it on that counter. This starts to vibrate. The coin here jumps up in the air and then lands. You have all this happening, and the energy from the force of what I did to the countertop shaping, to the coin jumping up in the air. Can you believe this? This is all happening within just one action. A complexity of steps that go from one point to another. That's when you can start to really break things down into this from the mind, that it truly is something. I want to throw something else into it. You say, why would you talk about this first, Rubey? If we're talking about, your title said, the eternal flame. Because the flame within you, depending on how bright you keep it, will keep your path lit, so that every action you do will have reaction, and all those steps that I just showed you from one example will all be and set in motion and working properly with each other. Because also, don't forget, within all those steps is what? Energy forms within that. As I'm swinging in my air, there's what? That air is what? There's matter there. So this consistent transformation of almost what you could say information, because as I'm swinging my arm in the hand, in that matter's like whoa, and then boom, and I hit the table and the coin moves. So much going on, right? Through my thought process, because I knew exactly what I was going to hit my hand and do on there. If we get into this whole process and learn that through energy, this is the power you behold within yourself. How much energy you control. And just from that one scenario and example I gave you, if you could control it into your benefit, and know that that spirit and that eternal flame within you, meaning that I will put it into perspective of, I can go into many different angles. As for instance, religions. If that flame, if you believe it, many things say you pass on, reincarnate, you come back, the resurrection of Christ. And coming back, there's so many things or symbolic meanings. That eternal flame never dies out, but simply changes form or energy into another. Truly is amazing when you think of it in that philosophical way. I always say, look at the clues, things outside the box. A lot of things are not meant to totally look at it as a more so a symbolic way, and what it resonates to you. What I wrote here with that flame, that eternal flame, you have the passion, the anger, the excitement, all type of things, emotions basically. How you keep that in check and keep that spirit and that flame bright within yourself to see a clear, concise path would be, like I've said in numerous other videos, just how you're treating yourself and others. That's it. Plain and simple today. Totally truthfully, how you treat yourself and others. Raise that flame. Keep it bright. So your path is always lit. And always know, never have fear in anything. Because is there anything truly to fear? Because if you know already that your energy is simply going to be transformed into another form, or moved on to a different plane, what is there to fear? That means you have always existed and always will. So we talked about the eternal flame. The only thing we didn't say was, what is the definition of eternal? Without beginning or end, lasting forever and always existing. The energy, what we were talking about, right? And then if you go into what we were told, how the one definition I found, it kind of stood out to me, was cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one form to another. And if you associated it back to the eternal definition, it almost goes hand in hand, saying that without beginning or end, lasting forever. It really resonates, saying that it always was and always will and always has been here. Maybe we were always like that. We just transformed from one form of energy to another. At last, I will leave you with this. A little poem I wrote. And sometimes I'll read off it, and sometimes I'll improvise off what I feel from my heart. So, the eternal flame is beautiful in all its nature, for its blue flame moving in a dancing motion, as to say, to always be blissful in all motions and movements throughout your life. For in doing so, your flame will shine bright forever. So it'll never dull out, but it'll always be bright. Because you realize the true meaning of life. What it was to be happy, to shine, contain that bright spirit within yourself. Go back, listen to the video. I'm sure you'll pick up on a couple of things. I came by Rubey. Take care and thank you for many people supporting. And I'll see you soon.